Yo, what is up, gamers? It's your boy TPG back at it again with another video today. Today I'm going to be doing a One Piece deck profile on a budget Zoro list. Now, this is a budget Zoro list in the sense that it doesn't have the 3-drop Rush Zoro, and I will disclaimer that Zoro does make this deck a lot better, but I get a lot of the newer players who are getting into One Piece really probably only have access to things like the starter decks from their local targets, the demo decks from their local LGSs, and a couple packs. So that was the goal of this deck, and I've seen quite a bit of success for it. That being said, let's hop right in the deck profile. Okay, guys, so I have this Zoro deck here, and yeah, let's get cracking. So, I've been playing this Zoro deck on stream a lot lately, and in a few tournaments, and I've been seeing relative success with it. Now, I do think that Luffy is probably a better leader now that I've played more, but I know a lot of people do want to play Zoro in preparation for the next set when it becomes very strong. So I want to go over a way that you can start playing Zoro now, and if you don't have the bang for your buck in order to get the Rush Zoros, you can start playing with this budget build. So to start, we do have one of the leader Zoro. It's Dawn times one to give plus 1,000 to all of your characters, and this is like the main leader for the deck. We have 4 Gum Jet Pistols. This is like the main event card of the deck. It's going to allow you to pay 4 Dawn in order to blow up a 6k body or less, which is super, super powerful, especially with uh, uh, BP or DP. I don't know what we're calling it in this game. Power. I guess power. It actually says on here, right? I think it's power. Yeah. So there's plenty of ways to drop power down to that 6k threshold in order to remove pesky things like 8-drop Kid and 7-drop Kid. We also have 2 Radical Beams, which is counter plus 2,000, and then so it's one cost. Your leader or character gets plus 2,000. Then if you have 2 or less life, it's an additional 2,000. This is just a nice cheap 4k counter if you are in a pinch. 2 Diablo Jambe, which just basically gives one of your other characters the skill of the 5-drop Luffy, allowing your opponent not to block it. But you have to remember, like, this card doesn't work if they have the 8-cost Kid on the field because it doesn't block, it just redirects. For the characters, this is probably the most expensive character in the deck, and you can cut it if you don't have it. I just play one because it's like a pretty nice finisher. If you're at that 9-drop threshold, you can just drop this and then drop like a Nami or a Tony Chopper. And he has Rush, and then when attacking, your opponent cannot activate blocker with chump blockers, so like 2k or less. And it's, Shanks is just really powerful. If you don't have Shanks, you can literally play anything else in this slot. I just played Shanks because it's pretty strong for that 9-drop turn. I have 2 Yasops. These are from the demo deck. He's a 6-drop, but he's an 8k body, which is super, super strong. If you don't have Shanks, I'd recommend just playing one more Yasop because that 8k body on your 6-drop on your 6 Dawn turn is super strong and it applies a lot of pressure early on. The best card in the deck is the Monkey D. Luffy that comes in the starter deck. So this Monkey D. Luffy is a 5-drop with Rush, and then also when attacking Dawn 2, if it has 2 Dawn on it, your opponent can't use blocker, which is very, very strong. This card just wins games if you have that 7 Dawn active. Or if they don't have a blocker, you just drop this with Rush and you win. So I played 2 Brook. I like Brook because he does minus 2k to 2 of your opponent's characters for only 1 Dawn. The problem is it's not on the turn he's played. So the idea here is because Gum Jet Pistol is minus 6,000, destroys a 6,000 or less. When Brook swings, you can do minus 2 to the Kid, and then just blow it up with a Gum Jet Pistol. Brook also allows you to lower like blocker numbers, which is very good. 2 Uta to grab back a lot of our key pieces like Nico Robin. And then 2 Trafalgar Law from the demo deck. He's basically the same as Brook, but it's not when attacking, it's on play, and it's only 1 character. So this is actually the one I like better, because on an 8-drop turn, you can go Law. Because if they're at 8, if they're at 8 to play their 8-cost Eustace Kid, you go Law minus 2, Gum Jet Pistol, blow it up. And the deck's gonna be going wide anyways, so you're not gonna have that problem of like, okay, well I only got rid of 1 body that turn. Yeah, you only got rid of 1 body that turn, but that's like the key card in the deck, and you still have this deck doesn't really have any like key cards It has a lot of good cards, and that's the whole point. Is you just play a lot of good cards that your opponent is forced to deal with. For the 3-drops, we have just the 4 Nico Robin. Nico Robin, Don 1 when attacking to KO a 3k or less body. One of the strongest cards in the game right now. Just absolutely broken. This is sort of our Zoro replacement, but it's not nearly as good. It's a 2-drop Sanji from the starter deck, I believe. And then Dawn 2 it gains Rush. So it's basically 4 costs to Rush, but it's going to be a 6k, which is pretty nice. 7 if you've used Zoro. 4 of our 2k counter Brook. Brook's skill isn't used very much, but you want to have as many of these 2k counters as you can fit in your deck in order to just block more attacks. This card's really strong. So you'll notice our low end is going to be a lot of vanillas. We have 3 of the 2-drop VVs. Now this is a 4k body, and you're probably, well, that's not very good. But by committing 1 Dawn to Zoro, it makes it a 5k, so it can hit any leader that's out in the game right now. Without any boosts from Dawn at all, which is very, very strong for a 2-drop. It applies pressure very early. And then for Sunny, Sunny is a 1-drop, but it's going to be 4. It's a 1-drop 3k, which is really big for a 1-drop, and then it's going to be 4k off Zoro. So it's also very strong. For Nami to search for our Straw Hats, most of the cards in our decks are Straw Hats. There's a few that aren't, like Vivi, and like Shanks isn't a Straw Hat. Uta's not, Law's not, and Yasop are not. So, but everything else is pretty much searchable off of the Nami, which is very good. For Tony Chopper for our 1-drop blockers, just to chump block things. And then for Otama, another 2k counter. However, Otama has on play give one of your opponents minus 2k during the turn, so it's basically Law. Because Law's gonna be doing the same for 4 cost. The difference is Otama has 0 power, so after she does that, she doesn't really do anything. Of course, she's 1k off of Zoro, but that's not gonna do a whole lot unless they have like not the bald kid from Land of Wano. So that's why Law's a little better, because you do get more value out of him long term. But if you're in a pinch and don't have Law, then you can just drop Otama to get rid of the kid. And then Otama sometimes is better too. Like if you have a really strong rush turn where you can drop like Sanji or Luffy after the Gum Gum Jet Pistol, then it's very good. So that being said, guys, that's it. That's the budget deck. Now you may be looking at it and saying, well, a lot of these cards aren't that budget. Like what? It's just not playing Zoro. Well, yes and no. The demo decks have a lot of expensive cards in them, but the demo decks are also free if you go to your LGS and learn the game. So it's not. I don't think that that's like a very strong argument, but at the same time, like I get it. But if you don't want to play, or you just don't have the Zoros, I think this is probably the best way to play the red Zoro leader in a budget style of deck with most of those things. Again, the most expensive card in here, if you don't count starter deck or like the promo cards, is the Shanks, and you can cut Shanks for almost anything, like another Yasop. You can cut it for another. I actually thought about cutting it for another Sanji to give you one more of that 2-drop rush, or you can go for another Law to get more value that way. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have a Discord now. Go check out the links in the description down below to see the other ways you can support me, as well as getting an invite link to that Discord where you can hang out with myself and other members of the community. If you liked my One Piece content, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about the deck profile and what you'd like to see next. That being said, I will see you all next time. Bye.